Now, today we are focusing on putting colour out into the garden.
Yes.
But I suppose this time of year we all head to the garden centres getting flowers and come back with a load of stuff, and there's no real kind of connection between the whole lot and the whole thing.
Everybody does it. They go to the garden centre, they make the annual pilgrimage, if you like, to the garden centre.
An exciting one, though.
Oh, absolutely, and to be encouraged. But they come back with a mismatch of plants and they put them outside the back door and they go, where am I going to put this? Where am I going to put that? And they do it every year. And at the end of it, that's when thankfully I get the phone call, Peter, can you help?
And I'm in trouble.
The garden now is a collection of plants as opposed to a garden. So there's a couple of things you should be bearing in mind when you are at the garden centre and when you are looking for plants for an area in your garden. First of all, think, do you want something that's going to be evergreen or deciduous or herbaceous? Now,
do you start with a kind of a plan first? Look at the garden. Is that how you do it?
Yes, ideally you would have a plan first and even break it down into different areas, plans for the different areas. And when you're planting those areas, look at things like, do I want an evergreen plant or do I want a deciduous plant? Herbaceous, don't be scared off by the terms. These just mean something that dies back for the winter. Evergreen obviously is there winter and summer. So I'm going to kind of, if you look at this is an awful mess really of a
This is the boot of my car.
But this is the boot of a lot of people's car, exactly. But I want to show you how we make that work, okay? So you look at something, if I pick something like this, it's a lovely, lovely Hebe variegata, a lovely variegated plant that's going to be fantastic for, it's the buzzword at the moment, but it's for promoting biodiversity, and all that means is it's going to draw in the bees, the ladybirds, all these guys that we need in the garden, right?
Because
this
if you're like me, Peter, if you have apple trees and stuff like that, you need the bees in there.
No
bees, no apples, no fruit.
No food in time, you know. So first of all, you need to think along those in terms of that, evergreen or deciduous. So this is an evergreen plant, this Hebe, right?
Okay.
It's also what you need to look at is less is more. So I don't mean necessarily less plants, but less variety. So instead of putting 3 different Hebes, we go 3 of the same. Okay. And then you need to look at other things like continuity of colour, and all that means, Dahi, is that it's very simple, as you can see, to come home with a car full of colour now, so the garden looks lovely in April and May, and every April and May. But what about the other months of the year? So you need to be thinking along those terms as well. And the third thing you need to look at is that it's often unthought of, but it gives that extra nuance to the garden. It's texture. And texture, like if you look at something like this is a phormium called Blackadder.
Blackadder.
Fabulous colour, right? And it's got that texture.
It's kind of a browny, licoricey, black.
It's kind of purpley, isn't it? But it's got that fabulous texture that even there you can't help but love it. Now, bear in mind this colour in our climate. We have a dark climate a lot of the time. So if that's down the back of the garden with grey skies and dark soil, you won't get the best out of it. So put it next to something, let's say, like this Hebe. Okay. And if I put the Hebe a small bit closer.
How far apart should they be when you're
They'll all vary. They will all vary. I'm not avoiding that question, but it'll say it on the label. Some like that phormium will need 2 or 3 feet around.
So they need a bit of scope.
Yes, and do err on the side of giving them too much space as opposed to too little.
Because if it's too little, will they kill each other?
Well, they'll just look bad, and there'll be poor air circulation. For what I'm doing today, I'm going to put them too close, just to give an idea of how they'll look in time. Again, less is more, so I'm not going with different phormiums. I'm going with Blackadder a few times. Okay. Look at him there. I'll let you hold him there for a sec. That's a fabulous name. It's Hebe rhubarb and custard. And I just think it's a beautiful plant. But isn't it gorgeous? The foliage in it is really gorgeous.
Nice. How big will this get, Peter?
That one will stay very low. That one will only get to about 1 foot.
Okay.
And it's lovely, perfect for a pot or a container as well. Now, there's another texture I want to look at, and it's something like this. I was just making use of you there.
A warm prop, that's all I am. Thank you, Peter.
So if you look at something like that, that's a heuchera called berry smoothie. And again, it's texture. I love that. You've got the dense shrub-like texture, which contrasts well with the grassy. This is a different texture again.
It's kind of like a flaky...
It's lovely, isn't it?
Really, really nice.
It's really lovely. And it's called berry smoothie.
And will that stay that colour, Peter?
Yes, it's evergreen again.
So it's ever
So I'd like when people are thinking evergreens, don't think just little dwarf conifers and palm trees and things like that.
Don't think green either, because...
That's what I'm saying, This is another heuchera. It's one called obsidian. But I'm not going to, again, less is more. If I started confusing it, our brain needs balance. Which sometimes I'm in trouble with that, but our brains need balance. So even if it's subliminal, so if we have too many heucheras going on, it's going to take from it, okay? So we go, I know I'm repeating myself, but less is more. Go with the same plant a few times. If we have another rhubarb and custard there somewhere, I'll find him in a minute. Oh, here it is, look.
That's it there.
You hold the lavender.
The lavender. I have this down the back of the garden, Peter, and during the summer it's beautiful.
Aren't they magnificent?
It's beautiful.
And
really,
again,
really nice,
drawing in the wildlife.
And lovely smells of it as well.
Isn't he gorgeous too? It's a perennial wallflower. It's one that flowers forever and ever and ever. And now I'm not going to go too far into colour, because colour is personal, Dahi, and everyone... Colour should be personal. If you do exactly as I say, it becomes my garden, not your garden.
Not yours,
so there are some things that I know will work, like what I'm talking about now. When it comes to colour, it's what you like. So if I put that wallflower in there, see the way it works beautifully with that heuchera.
Perfect, yeah, it's all kind of bouncing off each other.
To get the best out of the plants that you buy in the garden centre, think about what you're going to plant them with.
So there's a small bit of the, I suppose, the pinky purpley being picked up here from the flower.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and also, believe it or not, orange is the perfect contrast to purple. Right, in the colour wheel, orange is opposite purple, but that's for another day.
What's this here, Peter? Actually, this has been with me for a while. It's beautiful.
Dicentra bleeding heart, isn't it lovely?
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
And when you do something like I've just done there, if I take them out of it, the stip of ponytail is another lovely one to give a bit of contrast. But if you do something,
I told you what I did that before, didn't I?
Go on.
Yeah, I got the. I didn't know what it was.
Oh, you
lawnmower.
Yes, you
it was
did
an accident,
tell me.
Peter.
You did tell
the
me
first one was an accident, anyway. Oh, beautiful.
But again, it's that
you
lovely.
didn't tell me about the texture then, though, Peter.
Yeah, it's lovely
you?
airy texture now, though, isn't it? Yeah. Now, when you're paying for it, you remember it. Yeah. But once you've done that, now you've got a lovely combination. There's a bit of order. Your brain's got the bit of balance. So now you can put in your random dicentra, if you like.
Like these are pieces that are going to stand out.
Yes, correct. And this is the seasonal change.
With the height and everything.
This is going to be there January through to December. You have evergreen, your foliage, your texture. Now you introduce your seasonal colour.
So
this is a gorgeous one.
When will this spring?
This starts flowering around end of March, but that'll keep going right into June, July. Right. That's Columbine. It's one of the first plants I ever fell in love with. I think it's just lovely. Gorgeous. Yeah. And the blue there will work next to the hebe.
Perfect.
And I would probably, again, balance it over here. One last plant then I want to show you is, put him in there. Isn't this gorgeous? It's a new carnation called Bling Bling, and I just think the colour is fabulous in it. So again, mix that into it.
Peter, since the last time you were here, myself and Michal, we sowed lots of different fruit and vegetables and everything in the piece you had
here.
In
the raised bed, yeah, you got one.
It was fantastic, really, really good. And I can't overstate how excited he was. Brilliant. Because he was picking out all the vegetables and everything that he'd seen, that he'd learned in school.
And what's Michal now? He's 3 or 4?
He's 4.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. So we planted the whole lot, and then, of course, he woke up the following morning expecting spuds and carrots to be there. But anyway, that's part of it as well.
Yeah.
So it was really, really great fun as well. So I would encourage anyone, if you have children, get them out into the garden as well, Peter. It's really important.
Brilliant. Yeah, and once they get it at that age, well, like a lot of kids that get it at that age, I developed it at that age. A lot of kids will grow out of it. I didn't. I went the other way, got more and more into it. But it's great. It's the age to get them.
It is the age to get them. Peter, thank you very much. You're on Facebook and Twitter yourself as well.
I am the Irish Gardener.
The Irish Gardener. Yeah. Check him out. Over to you, Maura.